Welcome back to Idea Drop, the show, the only show. Idea Drop is the only show. I can't
It's the only show. Every other show, it just doesn't exist, guys. Once you get here, it's like having an orange when you've been eating paper your whole life. It doesn't make sense. It's like that first kiss you got after holding that girl's hand in kindergarten, and then you kiss the girl in first grade. You don't care about that girl in kindergarten. Screw that girl. Idea Drop is the only show. What were you saying?
Idea Drop is the show that surfaces new business ideas and how to pull them off. Dustin, you are prepped. We're going to do 3 and 3.
Can I pitch you right away?
Pitch me. Just pitch me.
Kendall, I want to start a business called Stripper Wage. It just collects analytics of how much strippers are making across the country in different cities, and it has to be very, very real time. And you already know exactly what this is for. But I think it would be a fantastic business, and I think people would pay real money to see this information. I would pay real money to see this information. As you well know, strippers can foreshadow an economic depression better than anybody else, simply because they know who's buying and who's not. And who buys? Well, it's those schmucks at the heads of companies, and they know when things are going to go down before they need to know. And they have they can't disclose what they need to talk about. And so what do? They go to the freaking stripper joint because they're terrible people. And the strippers know if they're paying or if they're not. And if they're not paying, oh my gosh, we've got a recession coming. What do you think?
I have no idea how this business makes money. I am not investing in this business.
Oh, you're a fool, man. I'm going to make millions.
So tell me how.
Okay, so I think, let me work this out. I go make friends with a few strippers.
How does your wife feel about this?
It's going to be hard. I think she'll
no innuendo, please. How does your wife feel about this?
It's going to be difficult. I think she'll be along with me in the process. She might think it's a funny idea, though. She's a funny girl. So you make friends with them, and you say, "Hey, I'd love for you just to disclose how much you make every single day, and I will get you in return. You can either pay them, but you probably won't make enough money to pay them off of that."
My gosh.
No, you give them traffic. People want to know. Joanna Starr made X amount of dollars today. And
you give them traffic?
Yeah.
That's
literally, you give them the name.
This?
Yeah, they're strippers. They want to make money, and they want to make money by having your eyes on them. And so you want to know that little Lexus over there made $5,000 last weekend versus, and then so you're going to be like, I'm going to click on who this person is. So you have to link these people. This is a terrible business. I'm never going to start this business. Anyway,
No.
But the key point is we want to know exactly how much they made, and we want to follow those trends to help us invest.
This is a train wreck, but let's hone this in. So
now think about it, man. It's
I
real.
am thinking about it.
Okay.
This needs to be just like Glassdoor or some of the other data providers, where the monetization of it is really like the high-end buyers of economic information, and you should not be tracking their wages. That is one question of business secrets by strippers. These are business secrets by strippers, right? They did not sign an NDA. No stripper has ever signed an NDA before a lap dance.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
So literally, they are allowed, even though the person who told them whatever is happening at work, they are allowed to leak the information, and they can get compensated for it. So the better the business secrets you're giving us, and the better the content is, we have an annual platform where we very seriously take the information we have learned about probably your competitors or your industry or what's happening in the markets. And we give you that straight from the horse's lap dance mouth.
Okay, you're saying literally they want to say, hey, we're shorting this company for this reason. Or, oh, my boss just got fired.
They're going to be small talking with you.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
They're going to learn how to fish out more of this information.
Okay, I don't like this model because these industry workers are going to be sharing any information they want to share. So it may or may not be accurate. We don't want that. I want to know the exact dollar amount they make.
That will be also a question. But Bloomberg charges $20,000 a year to use their data. And if you are playing in the financial markets, you can't even compete if you don't have their special insider data. You're just already behind. Mm-hmm. That means everybody competing must pay Bloomberg $20,000. I think this could get honed to that point. Obviously, if it's shit information, then your analyst that works in this company wouldn't publish it to the the monthly report or the quarterly report.
Mhm.
But essentially, I do think that you can get it to a very premium subscription with very insider secrets. I mean, these are leaks. These are company leaks we're talking about. So, stripper leaks, but that brand is not so good. So, oh my gosh. But
Okay.
the business model could be done.
Let me ask, if this was a product, would you pay it? You're just seeing numbers. You want to see what it is. And let's say the price is very low.
I would not want to overtly in my face know that this is how the data was surfaced. I would want to know that these are leaks, and like I wouldn't want to know where those leaks came from, but I would pay for the data. Yes.
I would want to know exactly what cities are coming from. I would want to know, like, I just
the
want to see.
city's fine,
I don't
but
even
I-
actually
but I
need to see
don't-
numbers. I need to see like just charts.
It doesn't have anything to do with a stripper, though.
It might have something. No, not the specific person. That doesn't matter. We're looking at trends. Like, is the
Mhm.
market trending down? Are less people
Mhm.
spending money on this?
Mhm.
Because on average, the person who's spending
'Cause
money on
it's-
this might have a lot of
Yeah, it's
influence.
certainly like a leading indicator of an economic recession. Like
There it is.
I'm with you there, but I don't think that I don't think the use case of just that information is powerful enough to demand pay. So I think that the corporate espionage element of it is something people will pay for. I mean, lawyers are going to sign up for this, bankers are going to sign up for this, private equity is going to sign up for this. I mean, Wall Street will be all over the leaks by this group of people.
Oh, definitely.
Anyways, that's my feedback.
All right, rate my idea, please.
Well, your idea was a 1 out of 10, and I made it into a 6 out of 10.
I appreciate that. All right, listen, asshole.
Plus
Tell me your
5.
idea.
Okay. We talked about this a little bit
Yeah.
offline, but I literally think that as I've been setting up studio in this other office space, I just want a plant rental service.
Yeah.
So I'm underground. I have no lights in this studio, but I want real plants. This shit is a fake plant behind me, and I want more of them. And I want an easy button to buy them, and then I don't want to kill them and then they're dead. So like I was thinking, well, if I was just on the plant circuit, one of the local nurseries they're just marching plants through my office maybe every 2 months. They do a refresh. It'd be really nice. I'd pay hundreds of dollars for the rental each month, probably, $200, $300, $400 a month, depending on how much we're talking, how many plants. And I feel like that would be really stabilizing for a nursery business model. And plants are free if you grow them over a long period of time. So they literally could expand like their buyers and provide that rental service. Yeah.
Can I react? I want to react.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instantly I'd pay for this. Absolutely. I'm not very good with plants. I have no idea what to buy plants. I don't know what is aesthetically pleasing and what's not. So to have like a local marketplace where I can look at it and it seems like, oh, the trend is moving in this direction, I can just say, yes, I want it for a price. And they cycle if I want them to cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, hands down. It's also like, it's hard for me to transport plants. I can't do that. That alone is worth the service.
So to hone it in a little bit, I would probably send out a text like, hey, you ready for your next refresh? Click yes if you want us to swap out your plants on August 2nd, right? And if you don't respond to that text, let's say you say nothing, great. Your plants are probably dying and the business keeps more margin because they didn't have to come do any work for you. But if you're like, yes, then you're an engaged customer. You're likely to keep paying for a long period of time. They come, they just drop them off, they pick them up in a truck. I mean, this is like most lawn care service companies would already have the trucks and the labor crews that can care for plants that for a very cheap price, because you maybe would white label through the lawn care, let's say corporate lawn care. They're already making $300, $400, $800 a month for just doing basic lawn clippings, and they could add this on as an upsell. You could do this through a channel partnership model and make the lawn care company keep a piece of it. And the labor is built in. So you could literally just be the nursery for those people.
Dude, the lawn care move is actually a fantastic move because they're at my house every week or every other week
They're
or
already
whatever
here.
it is. Yeah,
It's
and
so easy.
they have the trailer. Just ship them in the
Mhm.
trailer. Oh,
You could even do it outside for your premium customers, right? So my wife and I, sometimes we get paid a lot one month and then sometimes we don't. And that's just the nature of owning businesses.
Yeah.
But when we're feeling like we've got extra margin, we're always kind of like, what could we do out here in the front yard? Or what do we want to do over here? Well, it is expensive and pretty maintenance heavy to put in like permanent infrastructure. So we tend to go for like those wine barrels and then we put plants in them. My wife just refreshed like our salsa garden. But if you just gave me like, hey, we're going to drop off the salsa garden,
Mm-hmm.
I would, hell yeah. Heck yeah. Like I'm up for that. I would have just paid a few $100s right there for like maybe $500 and they would have dropped off these small little barrels and like the tomato plants and the peppers and the
Dude, even better than that, if I'm getting my lawn mowed, they bring it there. They can choose for you, or you can just walk into the trailer and say, "This one, this one, this one."
there it is. It's
Boom.
in the trailer. They
and
got
you
options.
have two options. You can, I want to try it, or I just like actually I just want it. I want it outright. I'm just gonna buy it outright, and then boom, done.
I think you could start this yourself. You could be a one-man show, or you could expand your lawn care business into this, or you could be the Instagram like thought leader on this for your local region. Like you can make this beautiful photography and like always you're showing up at beautiful offices and beautiful houses and you're refreshing their plants. Your Instagram for this could be beautiful. And so the people who would follow your account, that's such good organic marketing. Very simple business. I think it's cash flowing. You need to do it on a subscription model typically, and you have hundreds of dollars of upsells whenever, but subscription based.
This reminds me of almost every moving business out there. Like if I want to buy a couch from somebody and they deliver it, I'm a little bit hesitant. Oh man, I'm trying to think. There was a very specific business in Boston that was started like this. I need to come back to it. Okay, just scratch this whole part. I'm going to look it up and then I'm going to come back to it around. Instead, I'm going to pitch you another business. You ready?
Let's go.
Okay. I got 3 to choose from. Oh, I'm going to start with this. Okay. It's called Chat Compare. It's a very simple website that you bring up all the popular AI chatbots and you ask one question and each of them answer the question. And so you just read them out differently. Now, it's going to be tricky because you'll get a lot of traffic, perhaps. However, you also get a lot of expenses. So I'm not sure how to get it to monetize quickly enough so that the traffic can pay off with ad spend over the expenses of having to ping each different API with all the different things. But you want to look at all the different AIs and how they're going to answer, you can see it all in one spot.
This is interesting. I'm sure it's already being done in different ways, but
there's no way that I've seen overt, like literally one and then like all of them.
Yeah, so what I would do with any type of flash in the pan wave in the right now, technology, dare I say bubble or hype, we saw this in crypto, we saw this in blockchain in general. Machine learning, there was even an explosion a few years ago of machine learning and Python and now we're onto AI, machine learning, large language models. And I think the buzz tends to die down and then something new and innovative remains forever and gets better. And so as the buzz here evolves and basically the buzz will naturally die down as we get different, more specific language for each part of AI. We can go large language models. We can go GPT, right? We can go generative imagery. We can, whatever it is. I think this one then would need to not rely on mass user bases because to your point, you'd have big API based fees and you'd have low revenues. But you could specialize in industries one at a time. So let's say you did this for CPAs. They're dealing with tax stuff, tax law, process. They want to speed things up. It's all about efficiency. And you could probably add I'm a CPA training element to every message that they put in. And then the same thing happens. They ask the question, but each large language model, each provider of some AI feedback is gonna come with their context so that they can ask a simpler question, and they're the expert on choosing which one is best for the situation. However, it must be pointed out that 2 lawyers just answered a lawsuit with ChatGPT and sent their brief to the courts and to the opponents, and it was caught that not only did they use ChatGPT, but also it cited case precedents
That
did not exist.
Yeah.
It
That's
made
the problem.
up case precedents.
Yep.
So that's why you need a license. So they're getting disbarred, by the way. Those 2 lawyers are getting disbarred
Seriously?
for that. Yes. So don't
Two
fuck this up.
separate cases or the same case?
The same. They worked on it together.
Okay.
Yeah, they're getting disbarred. From
Oh
this
my God.
situation.
Oh,
And,
that seems like a jump, but keep going.
I mean, yeah, but you're licensed to practice in our judicial system for a reason. Same thing with licensed CPAs. So
Yeah.
that's why this tool is better, because you're getting to select between multiple outputs, and it would, I can copy and paste easily, obviously, into wherever I need to then massage it further. But yeah, this cuts down my input, my time. It gives me more shots on goal with one stroke.
Okay, let me change the idea to kind of fit what you were talking about. My friend and I, we were talking about doing this, but it costs a lot of money. So what you have to do is you have to fine tune a language model on a corpus of information. And the big thought that I had was, oh my gosh, let's fine tune it on WebMD. The problem is WebMD is massive, right? And so there are workarounds. You can say, okay, I'm just going to search WebMD. I'm going to have it pull the abstracts, and then it's only going to summarize those. And then it's going to store those on a database. So each question that people ask, it's going to pull from that database or try to find new things. The issue is that it's extremely, it's just expensive to learn that much data. And so you have to, can't do it unless you have an investor. However, if I could search through a law GPT or a WebMD GPT or this corpus of information GPT, I would actually pay a lot of money. I would pay good money to do that. And you could set it up for 0 hallucinations. It's not as fun to read, but it is very real. That would work.
I just dropped into the chat, Mr. Dustin.
Oh, hit me, bro.
Check the Riverside chat.
Okay. It's gonna make
Dr. Gupta.ai is basically an AI-driven WebMD. It's a AI physician.
Oh, nice.
And you can interact with it somewhat safely.
It's beautiful information. It's beautiful. Yeah, keep going.
Yep. And they've already trained large language models on tons of global medical data. And it can help you self-diagnose. Now, it always will keep pointing you back to, you need a real doctor, you need a real physician. It'll keep pointing that back to you, but it lets you also basically make the judgment call, like, do I go to the hospital right now or do I not? Now, obviously, there will be lawsuits. This is a liability trap. They might not lose those lawsuits, right? But lawsuits are still expensive. Maybe this provides more of a public benefit than a liability. It's being done. I think this is going to keep being done in all specialties. I think if you want to provide this type of stuff, the systems need to be done in an area that you have domain expertise of. I don't think that it's wise to go compete in someone else's industry, because how you sell it to that industry is going to be the breakdown. Even if you pull off making the system, the positioning, the identity, the pricing, all that stuff is where the secret sauce is. It's doing this as a service, training it with your context. It's making the customer feel like this is going to be accurate because we understand your context and we know AI.
I'm trying to break the bot right now. Hold on. Let's see here. My heart rate rises and I...
Read out loud.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Gupta. I'm having a xenophobic reaction to all people who I see, contrasting to myself. My heart rate rises and I begin to black out. What is this? So obviously, for you and I, xenophobia is a fear of foreigners. And so I'm basically giving it a psychosomatic problem. So I'm saying that like, when I see people who don't look like me, I freak out. And so I'm trying to see
What
if
does
it'll do
it
that.
say?
It says, I'm sorry to hear that you experience xenophobia and physical symptoms. Xenophobia is intense or irrational fear of dislike of people who are contrary to your countries or cultures. And
Oh
it is
my
important.
gosh.
It is not a medical condition, but rather a psychological one. It may be helpful to seek mental health. Good job. Good job. Good job. It beat me. That's fantastic.
Hey, I've been talking. Have you heard of neurofeedback?
No.
So neurofeedback starts with this brain mapping, and they're basically using magnets and trigger questions and looking at a screen to like map which parts of your brain light up at which points, and basically they're triggering you, right? And they're trying to find what you're slow at processing, what your brain has a difficult time processing, what you're highly effective at processing, and then based on that kind of map that they save for your profile, you keep coming back for hour-long treatments. It's kind of like physical therapy, but for your brain. And they use magnetic pulses to get parts of the brain that are not interacting as smoothly as other people to like be a better, smoother pattern for you. Basically, it's healing traumas that you have uniquely developed and you might not even be aware of.
Is it specifically looking at traumas, or is it just looking at underdeveloped pathways?
It's underdeveloped pathways.
So that could be me like using my left hand for something that I don't normally do, right?
I think they could do that. I don't, but the use case I've been exposed to has been as a subsidy or alternative to talk therapy. So when used in combination with talk therapy, sometimes those vulnerable places that you might not even want to talk to your therapist about, you can still move forward with because it's literally a hang up in your physiological brain. But also when combined with talk therapy, you can kind of, if the person's trained, of course, have this both and the feedback. I've talked to maybe a dozen people who've done it because we're looking at like, do we want to be involved in this business as one of our investments? And a bunch of people are just raving reviews. They feel tired, but like a workout after their hour-long session. But the depression rates are way down. Anxiety is way down, and like outbursts from childhood trauma are decreasing by quantity. So these studies are starting to be really promising. But what's cool is it's not a medical device. It's currently classified as like a physical therapy device. So you don't have to have a doctorate to use it.
I love this. I would do this.
It's pretty cool. And
I get that like a lot of people would be medicine, very anti this.
Less drugs. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know how it works. I'd like to see how it works.
Yeah.
Your brain is obviously an extremely complicated thing. I wonder if partially it is psychosomatic as well, because like you feel like it's affecting you, but I don't care if a placebo affects me. Bring it on, you know?
Yeah. Hope matters.
Yeah. It's seriously. Yes. That's cool. I want to
pretty cool.
I want to know more about this.
It's pretty cool. And the margins on it, like, so obviously I'm getting involved more on the business end. So the margins on it are better than talk therapy because talk therapy is one-on-one. And then what do you do if you're
this is pure profit? Company? You have to pay a technician. That's it.
Right. So this is, you pay a technician. Think about like the dentist, like they've got that dental assistant going around between like 7 different patients in 7 different rooms, just helping them move to their next step. Right. So there's welcoming them in, getting them set up, getting the screen in front of them, coaching them, getting them started. Then you go to the next one. And so if your session is an hour, you're paying for something that is comparable to an hour of talk therapy. But so the perceived value of what people will pay, cash out of pocket too, like insurance. The reason why this isn't already huge is because insurance will only pay the providers $20 for this. So insurance is blocking it. So I asked, well, how many therapy companies are doing this? And the CEO told me 1%. 1% of licensed therapists are using this.
Dude, there is a huge problem in this country that is we block the right. We block new types of treatments, therapies, all that stuff just by FDA or just by the freaking red tape that we put.
And this everywhere. Isn't even new. This is like this has clinical studies. This is proven. This is actually pretty cost effective. Mm-hmm. It's pretty low cost technology. It's pretty accessible. She said it takes 6 months to get trained. She said, I can do it faster in maybe like a classroom setting if you have monthly check-ins. So we were talking about like, okay, how do we get somebody in Austin, Texas using this as a provider? It's like, well, we could do Zoom sessions and then we'd have to keep doing check-ins and they'd have to pass certain certifications. Mm-hmm. But it's really the combo of this plus other types of therapy that ends up being, you essentially take what could be many years of a journey and you shrink it down to 2 months or 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Dude, actually, that's really cool. I want to hear more about this. I want to try it. Yeah. No, it's a great business. So obviously, it's a great business.
Scheduled to have my first one, so I'm going to test it.
It's fantastic. Have you seen Star Wars? There's I forget what Star Wars it is. It's one of the new series. It's fantastic.
Obi-Wan.
I love Obi-Wan.
The cap.
No, yeah, there's somebody that they put under the cap and then it changes their disposition. That would be the big fear that I imagine a lot of people have, where it's like, it totally changed my brain chemistry and now I think I'm good, but it just shoved it down these terrible parts inside of me.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
it's like mental device that
it could get that reaction.
Yeah, the equivalent of shrooms. Apple's new VR headset's probably going to be.
Yeah, but like we're doing shrooms every single day, right? If I think of it this way, so if I have coffee in the morning, that's affecting my brain chemistry. It's making me a little bit more elevated. If I have beer at night, that's bringing it back down. So those two aren't the magic chemicals that we're allowed to use. They're just the only ones that we have socially said that is okay. So every single, even shrooms, every single thing is just different concentrations of these different chemicals that affect us in some ways. So we're altering our brain chemistry constantly, even with a sugary soda, right? So this is just a different stroke on that, if that makes sense from my perspective.
Okay, I want to pitch you problemsolvers.com.
Okay, yeah.
Problemsolvers.com would be the customer service hotline for a problem solver, an adept problem solver, to talk to you about what is it that you're running into in your life or your business. There's a business side and there's a consumer side, that you're willing to throw money at the problem if it can be solved. You just have no idea if there's a solution. And so the very first question is like, what's the problem? And like, talk to me about your budget. Like, well, if you can solve this for $300 a month, then I'm in. And the problem solver gets to come back to you with a solution proposed. Now, in a corporate sense, it might be $3,000 a month or $30,000 a month or $300,000 a month. So I think this scales quite nicely, but I think the brand could also help consumers. And there would just be a research-heavy core to this business. So you'd have analysts and research, and you'd have a habit of hiring creative, outside-the-box thinkers. And you would ultimately see a lot of patterns because I think most people have the same problems. Every now and then you would also start a business. You're like, wow, nobody's solving this.
Okay, this is an interesting idea. I think it wouldn't work unless you went big scale.
Yeah, no, you'd have to invest heavy. But let's say I had $10 million to start it.
Okay, that's fine. I heard of an idea a long time ago. It was like a bespoke concierge or something like that. It's for heavy hitter businesses. If they had questions like, hey, I need to move my entire manufacturing system from Malaysia to some other country because of this problem or the other, and I have no idea how to do it. These were the guys you call, and they solve your problems, and they solve it really fast. That kind of thing. Yes. Oh my gosh, I would pay a lot of money for that.
Yes.
Are you thinking of the slightly less dire situation version of that?
No, that's a problem.
Okay.
It would be inclusive of that. I'm actually just thinking, like, the concept itself is you would train your call center people, and your customer service people, chat. I think you'd have a lot of chat back and forth. You could get AI involved.
I don't
with
think
the
you could
chat,
train
of
them. You
course.
would need people. This is going to sound a little bit hubris of us, but people like you and me, but 20 years down the road, like I've done it all kind of person.
No,
Like,
no. It's not to give you advice on the spot. It has a fulfillment timeline. So
Okay.
I'm taking questions and notes, and I'm
Mhm.
thinking, and I'm asking insightful questions. I'm also getting you off the phone. I'm trained to get you off the phone
Mhm.
if I don't think this can be solved. So your frontline's worker needs to be trained. Like, I don't think that's possible on the budget you're talking about. But if your
Yeah.
frontline worker has, I do think this is solvable. Let me check. I'm going to actually talk to an escalation team in the taxes sector. I think this could be done.
I actually think this would be really fun too. So
Mhm.
essentially, you're the greatest consultant ever, but then you also have teeth in terms of we'll pull it off for you. So I could call and say, "Hey, I just need more leads for my business," and the person say,
Mhm.
"Yeah, we can do that."
And I would ask you a series of questions. This would be a common one. And I would say, okay, well, if you sign here for $460 per lead, and here's how we define a lead, I can solve this for you, right? You don't know how much
Dude,
it's
you would
costing
need
me
the
to fulfill
greatest
this.
call center on planet Earth, though.
I think it can be done.
If
I know some
if you
people who
could
would
guide
staff
them,
that.
and yeah, if you could guide them, and they just ask a lot of questions and make zero promises, and then you had the next
Yeah,
layer up,
that's
and
the
they were the
process.
experts, maybe not the experts, but they were close enough experts that they can get you in the ballpark.
Yes.
Oh, this would be fun,
The
man.
beautiful part here is your brand itself
Mhm.
implies, I don't know yet. I'm here to solve it.
Yeah, but we solve the
Like-
hardest problems on Earth.
Right. So your first call isn't that much of a sales call as much
Mhm.
as an exploratory call. You're basically saying, we do exploratory calls, and then we make you an offer if we think we can solve it for you. But this, we think we can solve it for you, here's how much, is a concrete part of
Dude,
it.
I wouldn't say we think. I would say we will solve this for you because there's a dollar amount that could solve anything. If you want to lift Mars, you just need a lever big enough, right?
Well, the price, like that's the second step, is like for your budget.
Mhm.
We
No,
can't.
I'm just saying. I'm saying in terms of branding, it's like we will solve the problem that nobody else can.
Yep.
But you could go
And-
even so far as like if you want to
Dude.
win an election, yeah,
So on the
We'll give you
back
a
end
deal.
of this,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to win an election, we will solve that problem.
we'll do
There's
it.
a
Yeah, you
price
give
for
us
that.
enough money, we can solve that. If you have the GDP of Malaysia, then you could win an election in Malaysia easy.
So I think this service could have the best AI training data ever 5 years after start.
Mhm.
Right? So this would have a treasure trove of data.
Mhm.
Now you can sell some of that data to partners for big money. You could also partner with private equity companies or VCs to start or buy companies and evolve towards the problems that you're seeing in the market, because you're going to pull out patterns in people and budget information of what they're willing to. I mean, this is like entrepreneurship 101 as a call center.
This is a fun idea. In order to pull this off, I do think you would need to have like high-end experts, like extremely
Geniuses
high.
on the
Yeah,
phone.
you would need geniuses.
But they would be so well paid. Do you know how much margin is in this?
I actually don't think the level of geniuses that you need, they don't even need to be well paid. They just have to be extremely passionate. We're talking about savants. We're talking about people who care way more than you and I could ever care. And I get obsessive, and I know you do as well. This would be such a fun business. I love this idea.
I think there's margin in it. I think it's doable. You're right. It would have to go scalable. I wouldn't start this business with less than maybe $2 million. Just thinking about the early staff, and you'd need to last like 18 months with this staff really well trained, and you need to make a marketing splash. So maybe you could put $500K into marketing and 1.5 into staffing it, and see where you are 18 months deep. But
you might be able to.
Upside on this is massive.
You might be able to do it with less. If you had a good enough like general expert, you could listen to the idea, listen to the problem that they're having, and say, okay, we'll solve this. And then you go hire the people to solve it. And that's all included in the price. So it doesn't necessarily need to be hugely expensive at the beginning, because
I mean,
you find the
that's what a
solution bespoke to
consultant
the
is.
problem.
So yeah, you could be a consultant. You could just go to businesses and say, I solve problems.
But this is
I'll get
different
you
than being a
advice.
consultant. This is like pulling it off
This
in a
is
big way.
Yeah, and this is the discipline of I will find the information for you. I will give you a price, and if you sign the contract,
Mhm.
then we pull it off, or we tell you who will pull it off. And so people with problems need to be willing to throw money at the problem. This is for them.
Mhm.
If you're willing to throw money at a problem, we are the ones you call.
This would be the most fun business ever to run. Also, it'd get really shady really fast because I'm imagining people are going to want to.
I just heard that. I heard myself pitching that right at the end.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Like,
That's so funny, man. Okay, let me pitch another one to you. All right, let's see here.
How many more we got?
Oh man, I've got an
3 to
endless
go?
list. But I can
No,
go.
I mean we're supposed to do 6.
Oh yeah. So I've pitched 2. You've pitched 2. So we got 2 to go. Right?
Okay, 2 to go.
2 to
You're
go.
up.
And
then at the end, do people vote? They should vote whether or not you won or I won today.
Sure. How are we collecting those votes?
The Facebook group.
Oh, okay. I like that. I've got a fun idea for you. This is a lighthearted idea. It's nothing serious here, but I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I think you could make enough money to survive off of it, and survive, and maybe even thrive. So, every single morning, you write and you publish a new song that has all the news for the day, and you just put it on Spotify. And so, on your way to work, people are going to listen to the song about the news.
You do a song out of the news?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Dustin.
Every single day. New song.
Yeah. Dustin. Holy shit.
You like it?
I think you could do this out of passion and curiosity.
Dude, I could do this tomorrow. Yeah.
I think AI would benefit this. I think this is a content play, so it's going to be ad supported. This is going to snowball. You should do this. You have a microphone, you're a production guy, you know how to do AI, you're creative enough, you know how to read the news.
Just barely. I'm learning the last thing still as we go. But yeah, you're right, actually. That would be...
Literally, this would be so cool.
It would be so fun, to be honest. It would be just a really, really, really fun thing to do.
My wife wrote 3 songs this week.
Yeah.
And they were on the same day. And then she did some tracking and some demos of them, and of 2 of them. And we've been getting better at like refining her process to be able to do quick cycles of tracking and iteration, make them, 80% quality. You are the perfect person to pull this off. And I am your customer. I would love to be driving to work.
Oh yeah.
And be like, it's a podcast, by the way. Sure. I think this is a podcast play because it's for the drive, right? You would call it news song radio.
I actually think this is a Spotify play. I don't think it's a podcast play. Because
well, that's great. Can you publish that fast?
I actually
on Spotify.
I don't know if you can publish that. I imagine you can. Maybe on YouTube. For sure you can on YouTube. But just think of this is for the people who I want to listen to the Chamath All In podcast, but sometimes I don't have an hour. Right?
It's the drive.
It's the drive.
It's for the drive. So if you want it to be in the drive and you want to release it same day, then you got to do it on RSS feed. Now, this is the most unique podcast I've heard of in a while.
Oh, good.
Because it's news song radio. And you are going to give me today's updates in probably a funny, fun, interesting way.
It could be fun. Could be funny. It would just be a variety. I think that would be the important part.
You could even have like only 5. Well, if you do it 7 days a week, I don't know. 5 days a week.
I would do 5 to not hit burnout, but you could do 7.
So I would probably have like 5 different song templates so that they're a little bit memorable. Because you know how like when people sing the same things over and over, like it gets stuck in your head, and you kind of want that for the brand. You want this to be sticky, but you don't want to do just one. That would be boring. So you would kind of do a rotation. Like if it's a really heavy day, I mean, we're in minor keys, right? So there's every now and then there's the chord.
It would have to reflect the day.
Key.
That's the thing that I would do. It would definitely reflect the day.
Yeah. Yep.
If nothing else, if somebody did this and they were consistent and it was decent, absolutely it would be viral enough to pay for your life and then some. 100%.
Dude, Will you please do this for 5 days straight?
Oh man.
See how it goes. Do it for 5 days straight and run $50 of ads on it. Like, I just think that this could go viral and work.
Yeah,
You
I
have
could do
all
that.
the gear in that room you're sitting in.
I do. I have too much gear actually.
You've got your MIDI keyboard. You've got a nice singing voice.
That's so sweet of you. So sweet of you. Yeah, maybe actually that's possible. I think the way that it would be magical is if you could use AI to incorporate it and to like fix. I mean, that's what I would.
That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
we all know
totally.
that.
That would skip a lot of steps, boring steps. Okay, so that's that
again making you the most qualified person in the world to do this because you also could do that.
Oh, interesting. All right. Taking notes. I'll let you know, my friend. I'll let you know.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah,
I give that one 7 out of 10, my friend. So I've been thinking about the I've been dealing with investors, and I'll probably be capital raising for something for the rest of my life, like always. Like it's the model that I'm working in. It's just a part of it, deal by deal.
Mm-hmm.
And the more deal flow you look at, the more opportunities that you get to see behind the veil of, the easier it becomes to spot opportunity. And I've been thinking about creating a bucket of deal flow turned down. Now, when I say deal flow, what I'm talking about is places to invest in safe, good returns with high ceilings, high potential. And so there's a lot of investors that are liquid right now because they pulled their money out of what? The markets. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who are afraid of crypto right now. Gold has been pumped because people move to this most safe thing they can think of. Real estate continues to be high because people have pulled out of the markets. So they go buy the other safe thing, real estate. But it still leaves a lot of cash in people's banks, people who have money. And that cash is like a bird. That's how we talk about it. It's like a bird. It's flying around, floating. It's looking for a safe place to land. It's just natural. It wants to land somewhere safe. Our job is to create a strong branch that looks like a good spot to land. So when I come across deals that are a good spot for a bird to land, I can't always invest in them. Sometimes because of time, sometimes because of taste. I had to turn down a terrible, it was terrible to turn down this thing that was using TikTok and YouTube to make extremely scalable TV shows. And they were doing them at a high quality, these comedies, but like the actors would become comedians, basically on the influencer comedians. Yeah. So you have actors being funny on camera and building a personality on TikTok. So their followings made the show numbers, the YouTube numbers, get much bigger. So you kind of had this nice flywheel. Well, that dramatically lowered the cost of them producing film. There were some references to pedophilia that were not my favorite. And so I thought this show was funny. I thought this business was awesome. I thought the operator was really talented and good. I believe their company will make money, and I had to pass on the investment because I just couldn't get over, and my team couldn't get over this one joke. And
dude, can you send me the joke? I actually want to know. I want to know specifically.
I just didn't want to go look it up.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that joke could have been looked past by some investor or some investor who just wanted to go correct the operator. Be like, dude, cut this out or I'm not in. Don't do it again. But everything else is gold. So let's go. Like it was a good deal for someone else. So the business I've been thinking about is like, how do you centralize good opportunity turn downs? I want to be the deal sourcer to the next guy who ends up investing in that and get, 0.5% of that deal if it was turned down by our investment group, but picked up by someone else's. All I want is half of 1% of it. If they invest $1 million, I just want what is that, 50K? Like, it's not, no, if they invest 10 million, it's 50K. Sorry. It's just 5K, 0.5%.
Bro,
My
there's
brain is breaking.
no, you're good. There's this channel on YouTube called Pretty Good, and it just follows pretty good anything. So it was a pretty good athlete, pretty good actor, and most of them were just like they were almost good enough to get the investment, but they weren't quite, and so they were just pretty good. But that is actually good enough for a lot of people. In fact, 20 pretty goods is better than 5 really goods, right? And,
Yeah,
and a
call
lot.
it good for someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for someone else.
That's probably a better way to put it.
Right? It's good for someone else.
Mhm.
So I just want to be able to have a contract that says if I bring you this good for you investment, not good for me. And I say why. And the only people who would be able to contribute deal flow to the pool of deal flow would be accredited investors or investment funds or investment banks or VCs, like people who are already doing this on a regular basis. There's some vetting process.
Mhm.
But then when they turn down deals, there's still a likely chance that A, the deal gets funded,
Mhm.
and B, all their time into underwriting that opportunity, they get something for that. It's just depressing how much time goes into underwriting these things and how many meetings I have to be on and how much detail I get into.
What is this platform? How do I access it? What do I do?
So I mean, this again, it would only be for accredited investors, investment banks, private equity companies, VCs, maybe acquisitions brokers, and they maybe would pay an annual fee, something reasonable, like $600 a year, something like that, to get access to the deal flow, and then they would contribute they could look at other people's deal flow based on some filters, kind of like microacquire.com.
Mhm.
And they could also have an agreement that if I contribute good deal flow, my summary, it's all behind NDAs, it's all very private, everybody's signing this, I can get a piece of it. So you're also signing, like if you buy somebody else a deal that somebody else threw into the platform, you're funding the 0.5%, the sourcing fee, which is a pretty low sourcing fee in the industry.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. It seems a little bit confusing.
I get to recoup my wasted time.
Yeah.
It seems confusing.
Not wasted time. I want to find a way for people to onboard to this that are not credible and like
accredited.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why?
I think those people are slightly more hard to sell to, but I've never sold to that specific audience.
You can't solicit an investment to a non-accredited investor without getting
it gets messy.
The SEC will give you fines and fees.
You are well familiar with this. Yes, that is true.
Yep. So
how does AngelList work then?
They're all accredited investors.
Everybody, like in order to be on there. If I want to go
pitch, you can be a founder and pitch, but you can't look at investments.
I can't be a voyeur. I can't do any of that.
You can't put in $5,000. No.
But can I be a voyeur? Can I see it?
I don't know. It's all behind.
Dang.
No, got to pierce the veil. Yeah, which is a whole different problem. We can talk about on a different show. Your turn. Wait, first, what do you think about my idea?
I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a little bit too nebulous for me to invest in it at this point. I'm not. I'm just not ready.
But it's for someone else.
Yeah, for sure it is. No, it would be for. I mean, I want to say it would be for me, but I'm just not buying businesses these days. That's what you're doing. I like the idea. I think it would work. I think there are there's nothing that's doing exactly that. Dang, it's so hard to say, man. You have such a context within buying businesses that I don't have at this point.
Yeah, it's okay. Goodforsomeoneelse.com.
Goodforsomeoneelse.com.
Oh my gosh. Goodforsomeoneelse.com. Someoneelse.com. $12 a year. Adding it to my cart, motherfucker.
Dude, how many of those do you have? I have so many.
Too many. Maybe 60.
That's so bad. I shared my 3. You shared your 3. So I guess we're actually at the end.
That was it.
That's it. Yeah, we're at the end.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Is there any like between all of them that we shared? Any favorite?
My head's still spinning on goodforsomeoneelse.com.
I like that you're spinning on it.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite of yours was definitely the last one. What was it? That's how good it was. I already forgot it.
Oh, it was like the news one. Yeah.
I thought the song news is
some news.
incredible.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun. I
whatever.
would listen to it.
Good luck in your entrepreneurial journeys this week.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Ciao.
Good luck to you, man. Bye.
Hey guys, if you liked today's episode, don't forget there is a private community that we have for entrepreneurs, and this is a place to meet other people doing this stuff and building the things, compare notes, grow together. It's a Facebook group for people like us and people like you, maybe. It is no longer going to have a charge. We would rather this business be ad supported, not revenue supported by users. So you will pay us with your earballs. So we'll see you in there for free. Check out the link in bio.